And so I think the more real we are and the more authentic we are with other men about our journey and what we're going through and the breakups and being cheated on or being lied to, and then also the other side of like, I'm not always Superman, more men will come and say, I can relate to that.
Brennan Alexander, social entrepreneur, thought influencer. Welcome to Lend Me Your Lens, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This place is beautiful. It's great. The music is amazing. We got water. We got, man, super fresh head to toe. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you. So let's dive right in, okay? Yeah. So I think you have a very unique story. You know, you started out sharing the stage as a dancer with folks like Beyonce and J-Lo, but somewhere along the way, you felt like maybe there was something more. So kind of tell me about your journey.
I kind of had a come to terms with God moment. And I was talking to him about like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do it for whatever the thing is, do it for the screams and the yells and all that comes with, or do you want me to dig a little deeper? And I think he was asking me to dig a little deeper and to shed everything that was very surface, very thin, that was easy to pierce through. And I pulled from a place that really meant something to me, not having a male role model in my life, a positive male role model. A lot of the men in my life were very transient, always moving, never still, never stagnant, consistent. And so that kind of birthed this idea of New Age Gents of like, you become the thing that you needed as a child, and kind of giving that same thing to men and kind of giving that inspiration to be that for themselves and be that for other men. So that's kind of how I got into this idea of New Age Gents, besides doing dance and doing it for the fame and the glory and the lights and all that stuff.
Okay. So New Age Gents started as a passion project several years ago. So tell me, how do you decide, okay, I'm going to launch this really global campaign to reach men all across the world? How did that even come to be?
I can't answer this honestly without bringing up a person in particular named Julian Mitchell. And so Julian Mitchell and I, we actually used to go to church together. And he's kind of following me under the radar for a while. And then he shared something on a platform he had called the Love Project. And the Love Project was a bigger platform that I had never seen before, something like this about love and relationships and romance. And I was like, yo, where'd this come from? And he shared a couple of things that I had wrote about love and relationships and being a gentleman, and they went viral. They were getting in the 700s and 800s and 9,000, the thousands. And I was like, people really care about this stuff. And so he was like, don't try and do it through someone else's platform. Create your own platform. Make your own platform. And I was like, I was just this young kid. I'm like, I don't know how to get started. I don't know what to do. He's like, just start. Just start. Just find somewhere to get started and just start. And that was back in 2013, man. So I look up and, it's 5 years later, and the people that I've talked to, the places I've been, the things I've seen, these interviews, for one, I say it's all God, but without that guy giving me that push and saying, young man, go forth, New Age Gents wouldn't exist.
Now, I've seen some of your master classes from when you were a dancer, choreographer.
Boy, what you doing, man?
I know, it's my job to research. And so I know you are, it almost seems innately motivational and inspiring. But what other skill sets were transferable from the dance world to now leading this New Age Gent movement? Because I think as people think about like sort of their next, or I feel I'm being led to do this next thing, how do I sort of use the tools and the gifting that I know I have?
I would say the vulnerability piece. I think a true performer and a true dancer has to have a sense of vulnerability and transparency that translates on stage. And I think with trying to get men to a place where they can be more vulnerable and being a straight man in that sense, because there's so much around that conversation in general, than being a male dancer, taking that and almost this common thread in a way through that into New Age Gents and helping men to get more vulnerable, I've been able to use that tool because they see me and they say, well, he's okay with saying, you know, how he feels and what he's feeling and expressing himself. Maybe it's okay for me to do the same thing. And so that's one of the things that I think is a common thread.
Okay. Now, with your brand and the topics you cover, is your audience split? Are you finding, or that you're meeting women are like, gosh, if I can just get my husband or boyfriend or whoever to think like you, or are men also coming forward and wanting to put these things into practice?
Man, Corey, let me tell you something. It is a interesting thing building a brand like this, because I find that women are the drivers. They're the drivers. And we can't take away the fact that they create trends. They create whatever is hot, women make it. They are going to be the one that pushes it forward. And what I'm seeing is, if the women are saying, this is the kind of man I want, it's drawing the men and say, well, what is he talking about over here? If you see all the women in this pack over here, blah, 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 the men are going to start saying, well, what is that whisper? What is all that chatter about? And they go and they see and they say, maybe I can step in there too and get on the other side of that. And so the women are actually drawing the men. And I thought a man would draw the men, but it's the women that are actually drawing the men. So the demographic is 60% women.
Okay.
Easy.
All right.
And that's bringing more men to want to say, thank you for this post. Thank you for being who you are. I can relate to this. I feel the same way. And more men have direct messaged me in the last month because of things like Good Men Exist. I did a challenge called Good Men Exist. They've been like, thank you, because I feel overlooked or underappreciated. So I'm trying to find that balance for these men to feel like I'm not this is a little long-winded, but I have to kind of explain this because it's an issue I see in the social media space. Men are almost putting down men to get the women followers, and I'm that's not cool. He didn't deserve you, no way. He this, that. He shouldn't. What are you talking about? Relationships are a partnership. So if you're doing this just for the likes and just for the comments, I will never, ever feel uplifted and celebrated by you as a man. To say, well, I can relate to what he's saying. I can't relate to what he's saying because I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm flawed, bruh. Like, I'm not always gonna listen. I'm not always gonna get that door. And I'm not always bringing flowers on a Tuesday. I'm not. And so I think the more real we are and the more authentic we are with other men about our journey and what we're going through and the breakups and being cheated on and being lied to, and then also the other side of like, I'm not always Superman, more men will come and say, I can relate to that.
You know, I think it's time for a shift. Being a gentleman is more than just a suit. Are you practicing empathy, compassion, to understand and embrace what love is, what real love is? You know, that's what we're trying to get to at the end of the day, is helping people understand what real love looks like, and to not fall into this idea or this lie that because you're open, that you're weak. You're not weak. You're strong. Love is strong. So I encourage you to love.
So I thought we played like a little game, right?
Let's go.
So, you know, there are a few things that we've heard our entire lives, whether it be statements, generalizations that men make, women make. I want to make a statement, and I want you to kind of clean it up a little bit, maybe unpack it as to what do we really mean when we say this thing.
Okay.
So when we say nice guys always finish last, what does that really mean? What are we really saying?
Wait. Oh my God. That statement is like, man.
So who's really saying that, and what does that mean? Nice guys always finish last.
What I find is it's the women that are saying they don't want a guy who's nice. When I look at nice shouldn't have a negative connotation around it. When a homegirl is like, what's he like? He's nice. Why is that a bad thing? Is he passive? That's a whole different conversation. If you want someone assertive and straightforward, then say that. But him being nice shouldn't be a bad thing, right? So if nice guys finish last, then that means you had to go through a bunch of bad guys to get to him.
Right. Okay, I like that. I like that one. All right. Real men don't cry.
It is the cassette tape. It is the vinyl record of narratives. It is outdated. It holds no weight, no value. And the men who do hold or subscribe to that idea, I believe, don't truly know what it means to be a man. If you're still thinking that, then you don't know what it means to be a man.
I agree, 100%. Last one, all men want is sex. Unpack that one, because that one's been around for...
Corey, my God.
Is that all men really want, Brandon?
No.
Okay.
I found that most men want comfort. If you think about a young boy, he gets his nurturing, his comfort from his mother, right? Your brokenness says physical connection of some kind equates to intimacy, which leads to connection, which leads to nurturing. So when your mom holds you, right, you feel safe and you feel comfortable because you've cried, because you didn't score that shot, because the coach berated you, because the boys picked on you. But if that gets taken out of context, you will find that comfort in places you don't belong. And so when men say you need to get some more notches on your belt, it's about the women you sleep with, all they're saying is you need more comfort in your life. But we've taken it out of the context in which it needs to be filled in. Because with sex comes STDs, children, soul ties, I think I have to say that. Soul ties, these things that are bigger than a temporary satisfaction. So when we come to terms with teaching men, I think, a healthier way to understand what they need, they can say what they need. And that all men don't want sex. All men want is comfort and someone who understands him in the midst of his imperfections, in the midst of him missing the shot, in the midst of him not getting the promotion, in the midst of him not getting the flowers, in the midst of figuring out who he is and saying, oh, I don't know if I want to wear pink. I don't know if I want to wear tight clothes. I don't know if I want to go to the gym. For someone to say, baby, it's okay. I love you. To me, I think that's what all men really want.
Amen. Amen. So you've dropped so many gems on us. I mean, we could keep this conversation going, but yeah. Where can people keep up with the New Age Gent movement?
So guys, you can find me at New Age Gents on Instagram, Facebook, and newagegents.com. Thank you so much, Corey, for having me. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Of course, man. Appreciate it.
Wakanda forever.
Sweet, right.